I would literally feel sick. Customers come and go. Your family and friends are not always going to support you. I was afraid. If you don't work, you're not making money. I want to quit this job. Then quit. So I quit my corporate job to become a full-time entrepreneur. And not only did I become my own boss, but I became my therapist, the accountant, the assistant. And honestly, sometimes I became even my worst enemy. So that's what today's video is all about. I'm here to break down a lot of the things that they don't necessarily tell you when you're making that transition from corporate America or a traditional 9-to-5 job to becoming a full-time entrepreneur. I got to a point within my corporate job that I would literally feel sick when I was going into the office, right? As soon as I hit that elevator to go up to my desk, I started feeling like I wanted to just throw up. I just didn't like it anymore. I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset. I always wanted to work for myself. But like many of you out there, I was afraid. I didn't know where to start. I didn't want to fail. I didn't know if I was going to be able to uphold or maintain a certain lifestyle, pay my bills. And we're going to get into all the details of that a bit later. I ended up taking that leap of faith. The things that I wish someone would have told me before I quit my job to become a full-time entrepreneur. I don't care how extensive your plan is. I don't care how much money you have saved up. I don't care how many opportunities you think you have lined up. You're never really going to be as ready as you think you are until you just do it. I'm going to tell you all a brief story. I remember calling my mom on the phone and I was just in tears. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of feeling undervalued. I want to quit this job. I want to quit. Shout out to all the moms out there because they do have a way of telling you exactly what you need to hear when you need to hear it. My mom was able to calm me down within that particular moment. But before I ended the conversation with her, she said, I want you to call your father. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I love my father to death. Like my father I aspire to be like my father one day. My father has a very practical and analytical way of thinking. So I already knew what the phone call, or I thought I knew what the phone call or how the phone call was going to go. I was going to call my father, tell him I'm having a bad day. I want to quit my job. And my father's going to tell me to go home, get myself together, come back tomorrow and have a better day. I called my dad up. I'm like, yo, dad, I'm having a real bad day. I just talked to mom, I just need some advice right now. I was like, I don't feel comfortable here. I don't feel like I'm valued here. I feel literally sick when I come in. And, it's something I've been expressing to my parents for a while. And he was like, okay, so what are you saying to me? I said, I want to quit my job. And he was like, okay, then quit. My dad said, you have the ability to change something that you're not happy with, so then change it. Who cares what she's thinking? Who cares what he may say? At the end of the day, this is your life. If you are not happy with something about your life and you have the ability to change it, then change it. Did I have a plan in place? Kind of. Did I have money saved up? Kind of. Did I know what my future was going to hold? Didn't know. Had no idea. But did I do it? I did it. And every other entrepreneur that I have spoken to, when I talk to them about their early stages of becoming a full-time entrepreneur, they always say that they wish they would have did it earlier. What I realize is that fear and me wanting to have a plan in place and for me wanting things to be perfect as soon as I left one situation and enter a new situation, I wanted it to feel right. I wanted it to look right. I wanted it to be right. I wanted it to be confirmation that I was making the right decision. But what I realize now is that I needed that uncertainty to really push me. I needed to realize, or I needed to wake myself up and understand if I was hungry enough to wake up in the morning and not know where my next paycheck is coming from. Do I still want to do this? Am I still happy with the things that I'm doing full term or full time, to support myself? You're never going to be as prepared as you want to be throughout your doubts and throughout the uncertainty and the fear of entrepreneurship. Remember your why. That's been one of the biggest things in getting me through. To be a successful entrepreneur, you need to be self-efficient because at the end of the day, you are your own boss. At the end of the day, you are now a hunter. If you do not, I don't want to get dark, but if you don't kill anything, you don't eat anything. Yes, you can create your own schedule. Yes, you create, how you want your life to feel and things like that. But at the same time, you have to understand if you don't work, you're not making money. Routine is so important. If you really want to see the fruits of your labor, and if you want to stay consistent, you have to have a routine. My day to day as an entrepreneur looks so different depending on what I have going on. However, there are certain things that remain constant for me. I do a lot of time blocking. What that means is from 7:30 to 9 o'clock is like my personal time. Clients or whatever I'm working on knows that I may not be available, or not even may, but I'm not available until after 9 a.m. So any email, any text message, any DM that needs to get responded to, it's going to happen once I have me time. And for me, that me time is so important because as an entrepreneur, and not just an entrepreneur, but as a human being, you have to understand that you cannot pour into other people unless your cup is fully full. That is something that I had to learn the hard way. Never be afraid to say no. Does this opportunity or gig or whatever it is align with my vision for myself, for my overall brand? Am I going to be able to get some type of financial gain from it? If I'm not getting some type of financial gain from it, am I going to be put in a place where it's going to set me up for more opportunities that allow me to get some type of financial gain from it? Now, this next thing I may say may ruffle some feathers, but you know what? I really don't care. I know that social media today has created this illusion that the entry level to entrepreneurship looks so easy and it looks so magical and it looks so, glamorous. But let me tell you something. That's not the case. When it comes to social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, you name it, LinkedIn, it's a highlight reel. You have to have a keen sense of discernment and be able to look at someone else's journey, someone else's story, someone else's Instagram profile, and understand that they are showing you a lot of the end result. Very rarely do you see someone get on the internet and let you know about the failures that have happened, or all the no's they heard, or the opportunities that they missed out on. They don't really talk about that. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, because a successful entrepreneur, a successful creative has the ability to storytell. They have the ability to let people in however they want to let people in, whether they're on YouTube, whether they're showing their wins and their successes, through Instagram Reels. Whatever the method is, it's a sense of storytelling. But I don't want you to get discouraged by looking at someone who's been in the game for 5+ years doing something that you aspire to do and think that you're supposed to be at that level in a year or a month. It doesn't happen like that. Like, we have to get real with what it takes to become the person we want to become, to do the things that we want to do in life. You need to put in the work. And not only do you only have to put in the work, but you can never stop being a student. The most successful people in life, they will sit down and tell you they never stop learning. They accomplish one thing and they want to take that to new heights. And I think that, it's important to not get complacent. And it's so easy to get complacent when you're an entrepreneur, because you can get to a point in your career where you're like, okay, I'm in a place now where I'm making consistent money. I'm making good money. Like, I'm good. And if that's your story, that's your story. But I will say life is so much more to life than that. It's so much more than sitting where you are and being comfortable. And honestly, a lot of times, most entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs because they were tired of being comfortable in whatever 9 to 5 or corporate job they had previously. And I also want to say this: entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And you have to be real with yourself. You could be in the game a month, a year, or 5 years and realize that, hey, I've been doing this entrepreneurship thing for a minute now, and it's not necessarily working out how I want it to. And it's okay to pivot. I have pivoted so many times in my career as an entrepreneur, and oftentimes I'll talk to people that are either going through a pivot or thinking about pivoting because what they initially started with isn't working out, and they get so distraught in it. And they're like, well, this isn't how I expected things to be. Okay. I'm sorry, but that's life. You're either going to dust yourself off from not achieving something, or something not going the way you want it to go, and figuring something else out, or you're going to sit in your misery. It's important that we have these conversations about the real life that comes with being an entrepreneur. It's not at all glamorous. Is it all bad? Absolutely not. Absolutely, positively not. And I'm not here to, deter you from becoming a full-time entrepreneur. And I'm not here to inspire you to become an entrepreneur. I'm here to share my insights and my stories and my experience as someone who has done both the 9 to 5 corporate route and someone who is currently doing the entrepreneur route. You have to learn to embrace the discomfort, and you have to understand that there's beauty and there's growth within the discomfort, and that no matter what you're doing, whether you are working for yourself or working for somebody else, you are going to experience a level of discomfort that's going to make you question yourself. My personal connection and my personal relationship with God has strengthened so much within this journey of entrepreneurship because there's been so many days where I feel like I could not call on anybody else but God. There's been so many days to this day where I ask Him, God, what's the lesson? What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to teach me within this? Because right now I don't understand. What I've learned is that embracing the discomfort is key, but also being patient and understanding that not only is entrepreneurship like a roller coaster, ups and downs, but so is life. And when you get through that low, through that valley, and you're at a peak again, you can really look back and say, okay, wow, now I get it. Now I understand why I had to be uncomfortable for the amount of time that I had to be uncomfortable in order to experience this win that I'm experiencing now. Now I understand why I didn't get that particular opportunity, why that door was closed in my face, because now I am more prepared. I am more well equipped for what is happening in my life. One of the things that I ask God for every single day, every time I pray, is God, please not only grant me the things in life that I'm working towards and that I ask you for daily, but please grant me the ability and the wisdom to maintain the things that I am going to be blessed with. You see it all the time where people have their moment before it's their time. People may experience something in life that can be and feel so amazing, something that they've always wanted, whether it be that dream job, whether it be that dream partner, whether it be that dream amount of money. But a moment only lasts for a moment. There are certain things that you have to go through in life that you have to experience for things to really not only set in and let you know that you're on the right path, but for you to continue to experience those type of moments time and time again. That's when you know you're walking in your purpose. That's when you know it's your time. And honestly, y'all, as I say this right now, I'm speaking a lot of this from things that I have personally learned within the last 2 years and some of the things I'm going through right now. I don't want you to think I have it all together because I don't. And as much as you all are probably figuring it out watching this video, I'm figuring it out too. Life really be life, and like you really have to take the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And you may not understand it in that moment, but I'm telling you, like, stay true to who you are. Stay true to your purpose. Stay true to what you have going on, what you want to accomplish. Remember why you started. Remember why you decided to take the leap of faith. Remember those emotions that inspire you to want to take a leap of faith, to become an entrepreneur, to become, your own boss, to accomplish this dream that everyone doesn't understand. Your family and friends are not always going to support you. If and when they do support you, it may be later on down the line or later on in your journey of becoming or being an entrepreneur. That used to really hurt my feelings. And I had to sit back and say, my friends and family may not be my target audience, and that's okay. Your true audience will find you. And you will soon realize that the people that are meant to be in your life when it comes to your entrepreneur journey are the ones that will show up, that will stick around, the ones that will refer people to you, the ones that will buy your clothes, the ones that will show up to your parties, the ones that will watch your content. And those are the people, and that is the attention and the energy that you need to pour into. As an entrepreneur, your time is already limited because you're so busy doing your day-to-day tasks, trying to get things done. So you don't have time to sit back and stress yourself out even more about why so-and-so is not supporting you. You have to take it with a grain of salt. And a lot of people may disagree with that, but at the end of the day, your friends and family is not always your target audience. So continue to do you, continue to push towards your goals and your dreams, continue to sell your product, continue to become the person that you want to be so that your target audience, your target consumer can find you, can support you, can show up for you, and can establish a connection with you that's based on what you bring to the table, that's based on your talent, that's based on your product, and not just based on some relationship that y'all built on the playground in fifth grade or some relationship that y'all built at a party in college. It's also important to know that the act of becoming a better person, the act of success, the act of accomplishing a crazy wild dream is going to look lonely. You're not going to always get the support that you need. There's going to be times where you feel as though you're in this world alone. There's going to be times where you feel like you're your only supporter. There's going to be times where you feel like the world is against you. And I will say this, keep going. You got to keep pushing. It requires a certain amount of isolation. There's certain things and people and places and habits that you got to get rid of when it comes to accomplishing a certain goal of yours, when it comes to chasing a dream. You have to understand that you're going to outgrow a lot of people. You're going to outgrow a lot of situations. And it's important for you to do that. And it's important not to belittle yourself or remain a version of yourself that no longer serves you, that no longer serves your purpose, that no longer serves where you're going in life. Because if you continue to operate in a place where you know it's stagnant, everything else in your life is going to be stagnant. Of course, you don't want to like be nasty with it and like, talk bad about anyone, but you need to understand that there comes a certain point in your life where you just have to outgrow people. You're going to outgrow people. It's okay. So stop trying to hold on to that. Stop trying to hold on to that connection. Stop trying to hold on to that relationship that no longer serves you. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with them. Be honest with your goals. Be honest with your dreams and understand that, hey, in order for me to level up, in order for me to live this life that I'm dreaming of every day, in order for me to accomplish this goal that I made so many sacrifices for already, I can't do this no more. I can't go there no more. The things that you do day to day don't serve me anymore. They distract me. You got to focus on the goal. You got to focus on the mission. Now, I'm not saying you need to turn your back on everybody and just say that you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's just you, because there's a lot of that on the internet as well. There's so many people that say, oh my God, lock in, lock in. It's okay if you don't do this, you don't do that. At the end of the day, we're humans. We need interactions with other humans. When it comes to entrepreneurship, it's about building community. If you have no community, you have no consumers, no customers, no supporters, you have no business. I don't care if you're selling a product. I don't care if you're selling a certain lifestyle, talent. If you have no community, if what you do, what you're selling, what you're promoting has no way to connect with people, you have no business. It should always be more about creating and building a community over finding your next customer. Customers come and go. Customers will buy from you today and never buy from you again. A community is there to grow with you, to evolve with you. They see what you are offering now. They see the potential in what you can offer later. They're willing to grow with you through entrepreneurship. Within community, don't be afraid to share the journey. People want to see the journey. They want to see when you was at point A and how you're now at point W and the evolution and the growth that has happened in between that. But it's important for you to see it as well. Document your life, document the journey. Have a way to benchmark the things that you're working on and the things that you're working towards. A lot of times people don't even buy into products. They buy into the people behind the products. If you think about some of the biggest names out there, whether it's a Skims, Fenty Beauty. Yes, these are big corporations. These are huge and massive brands. But when it comes down to it, a lot of their consumers, a lot of their following was built on the person behind the brand. The Kim Kardashian, the Rihanna, the Pharrell Williams, the Jerry Lorenzo. They have a way to share their life that is inspiring, that makes people want to consume what they're producing. That's one step closer to people feeling like they're connected even closer to whoever this individual may be. There's a lot of psychology when it goes into business and especially entrepreneurship. People buy into people and the brands that that person is creating. Entrepreneurship is about giving yourself grace. It's about building community. It's about sharing the ups and downs and in-betweens. And it's really about having tenacity and the ability to pick yourself up when you have fallen, to learn from your mistakes and keep pushing towards greatness. As scary as it may seem sometimes, as unprepared as you may feel, understand that your journey is your journey. Your story is going to be your story. Yes, you can be inspired by what you see. Yes, you should be inspired by what you hear. But understand that how you get to your end goal, how you achieve the things that you want to achieve in life is completely up to you and are going to completely happen in the way for you in which they are supposed to happen. And I want to be a resource and, continue to build a community in which we can all help each other. A lot of times we think that we're going through things on our own. We may think that we're the only one experiencing things, but if you have a conversation with someone else, you will soon realize that a lot of the things that we're experiencing, not only as entrepreneurs, but just as humans in today's world, are very similar. Share your story, connect with like-minded individuals, build a community, and understand why you started. It all comes back to why you started. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's all for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I hope that I was able to, enlighten you, inspire you, speak to something that you may have not known about entrepreneurship. Also, anyone that is watching this video right now that is an entrepreneur and they feel as though I didn't address certain things, be sure to sound off in the comments. Let's definitely keep this conversation going. Like I said, it's all about community. If there's any questions that anyone out there is watching has for me, comment below. Hit me up on Instagram at Kenneth Kyrell. Hit me up on Twitter, Threads, everything. TikTok is Kenneth Kyrell. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video drop. In the meantime, in between time, I'll see y'all later. And like I always say, make today count. Peace out.